Hello, online world. We are here today to talk about Steal Like an Artist, and today the topic is how small the world is really. Just think about when you go out and you meet somebody and somehow, some way, you know somebody that knows them, and just think about how often that happens. And for me here in Seattle, that happens a lot. So that's a topic today, and the title of the chapter 8, is Be Nice, the World is a Small Town. And again, this is a book by Austin Kleon. It's Steal Like an Artist. If you haven't already purchased the book, I do recommend you go out and do that. Support this nice guy for providing us with this awesome content. It's best to always buy direct from the artist, direct from the author. It cuts out the middleman. They get more of the money. That's what we want. So welcome. Today it's just a little bit later than we normally host this event. I had an opportunity earlier this morning, so we had to delay it. So thank you for joining me. I see we got a couple people tuning in. I let my regulars know that we would be a little bit delayed, so welcome. Without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get right into it. So again, chapter 8, Be Nice. The world is a small town. It's a small, big world. So again, that being said, with how often you do come across people that know somebody that knows somebody, being nice and making sure that we can always utilize these connections to our best efforts, not only for selfish reasons, but also just to make the world a better place. So we have here, I really like this. It's a shirt. And it says, here to make friends. And I actually really wish that I had a shirt like this. It's super cute and I would totally rock it. I'm wondering if I go to his website, he might be selling some. But we'll just go on in here, and it says, make friends and ignore your enemies. There's only one reason I'm here, and I'm here to make friends. He says that in our hyper-connected world with the internet especially, it makes the world even smaller. So an important lesson to learn is if you talk about somebody on the internet, they're gonna find out about it. He says that everybody has a Google alert search on their name. He says everybody does. I don't. Maybe I should jump on that bandwagon. It would be nice, I guess, to know. I don't know. I'm happy in my ignorance, but something to think about. The best way to vanquish your enemies on the internet is to ignore them. This is contrary to, there's a book called Hug Your Haters, and I can't remember the author's name, but he does a lot with like marketing, and from a business standpoint, they're talking about hug your haters. So that's a little bit different advice than Austin's giving us here, but we'll go ahead and just roll with it. The jury can be out on that. Maybe it's a different matter because it's business rather than art, whatever. Anyway, personally speaking, ignore your enemies, which I really think is important. And the best way to make friends on the internet is to say nice things about people. And I'm going to go out on a limb and tell you guys that this is true. This is my experience. Most of the time when I make friends, it's because I'm being friendly. And a lot of times I'm making the first move. And if not, once they make the first move, I have to then contribute to the conversation as well. And that back and forth is what makes that friendship. So don't worry, this is relating to art, so we'll get there. Kurt Vonnegut, he's a, oh, hi, Zandra. Zandra's here. Thanks for joining me late. Sorry, I messaged you on the wrong platform. Forgot I had your phone number for some reason. So I messaged Zandra on a platform she didn't check, and she showed up at 2 o'clock. I appreciate you understanding. I'm not sure if Kim's going to join us or not, but she got my message a little earlier. So we got a few people hanging out with us. So I'm glad we made it. But so Kurt Vonnegut, he says, there's only one rule I know of, and it's that you've got to be kind. So Zandra, how was your week this week? I know you guys were busy editing film footage, and you were doing your best to get your music video done. So I'd love to hear about that. But on with the book, we have stand next to the talent is our next tip. And Questlove says, the only mofos in my circle are people that I can learn from, which I really like, because he says, remember the term garbage in, garbage out? You're only going to be as good as the people you surround yourself with. And I've heard this on numerous occasions from multiple different people. You know, somebody once said that you're only as good as your five best friends, or the five people you spend the most time with. So if you look at it from that standpoint, it's like, okay, who are you surrounding yourself with? Because it does rub off on you. There's been people that I've hung out with that I'm just like, oh man, that was really distasteful. You know, I would really hate to act like that. And then, you know, come find out like a few months later, like I'm doing the same thing, but it's like, I didn't realize I was doing it. That stuff rubs off on you by osmosis. So really think about who you're surrounding yourself with. And then he says that in the digital space, that this means that you need to follow the best people online, the people who are way smarter and way better than you, the people that are like doing things that you're really striving to do. So he says, in order to do that, you're going to need curiosity. You're going to need kindness. You're going to need stamina and a willingness to look stupid. I think this is the most important thing. It's okay to look stupid. Like learning, that's what learning is all about. Once you're starting out, you're going to look kind of dumb. So we got some action over here in the chat room. Zandra says she's about halfway done shooting after this session. Okay, so that's great. So you're halfway done shooting, and that doesn't even mean you're done editing at all. Like then you got another project. So that's super exciting. It sounds like you're doing a lot of good work, and I'm hoping you guys did like a storyboard so you get your shots all planned out, and it's going to be easier to get shooting. That always is really helpful. Doing the storyboard, I'm sure you guys know. Zandra says, word, you can't soar with eagles when you're grazing with turkeys. I absolutely love that, because my aunt growing up used to call us all turkeys when we were goofing off, or maybe not doing what we're supposed to do, or being facetious or teasing her or whatever. But yeah, she'd be like, you turkeys, what are you doing? Get back here, you hound dogs. Oh my God. Totally sounds like I'm from like the Midwest. Zandra says it definitely rubs off. Yeah, no, I love that. I love that quote. You can't soar with eagles when you're grazing with turkeys. That's beautiful. I'll cheers to that. Woo! I'll give Zandra the word on this one. Word, Zandra. So yeah, a willingness to look stupid, curiosity, kindness, and stamina. That's what you're going to need to hang out with people that are better than you, which means they're going to rub off on you, which means at some point you're going to raise that bar for yourself, or that is raising your bar for yourself, and then you're going to jump up to that level. And then I actually have some personal experience with some of this, like actually fairly recently. So people who are doing the really interesting work are the people that you really want to be around. They're doing like groundbreaking stuff. They're doing things that are really interesting to you. Maybe they're novel, unique. And pay attention to what they're talking about. Pay attention to what they're doing, and pay attention to the articles and the people that they're linking to and working with. So for me in the local Seattle area, and even some of Western Canada and some like Oregon, I've had the opportunity to see a lot of really amazing artists live paint at shows, and I've gotten to live paint at shows with these artists that I was looking up to. And you know, having that opportunity to interact with them, even when they're sitting there painting. Like, they're doing that because they want to share their work, right? So there have been times where I was like, oh no, I'm too shy. They're so good. Like, why would they want to talk to me? Whatever, artists that I was like fangirling over. And I've said this before, like, I'm friends with some of these people now. And it's just like, I look up to them. They're doing really great things. And they're people too, So pay attention, make that contact. And so down here, he's saying, find the most talented person in the room. And if it's not you, go and stand next to him. Hang out with him. Try to be helpful. And, some ideas for trying to be helpful is, if you see an opportunity that you think that their work would go really well with, refer the opportunities to them. Say, hey, I saw this opportunity and I'm not sure if you're interested, or say, I saw this opportunity, and just in case you might be interested, I thought I would share it with you because I think your work would just be really wonderful. And I think you would be a great fit for this. Because, it's hard to catch all those opportunities. So a lot of times, like, I'm having people refer opportunities to me, and it's great because sometimes they're out of my scope. So somebody else's network can then become your network. And often on the flip side of that, like, I've had other artists refer things to me. I've had people I know refer opportunities to me. I've had people that would be of a mentor category refer things to me. So it's just that distribution of information and that flow of energy, and people really appreciate it. When people do that, I definitely appreciate them, and you remember them. And so it's nice to be helpful to them. Another way that you can be helpful is to cheer people on. Say, hey, if you like somebody's work, comment on it and say, hey, if it's online, comment on it and say, hey, I really love this. If they've improved in some way and you've noticed it, it's really helpful to be like, oh my gosh, I really like how you're doing this now. Like, this is really amazing. I see a huge difference in your work. It looks like you're working hard. People really love that. And on this same note, okay, so I had this moment where I was like, somebody was like inviting me. Oh, no, back up. So I have a friend who works with an artist, and they share a studio. And then a couple other of my friends were like, hey, do you know this artist? Because a lot of times people think all artists know each other, which a lot of them do. And I was like, no, I don't know this artist, but you're like the third person this week to ask me about them. And so then I'm going to go ahead and say, I'm going to admit this. I was like, I saw what they were doing, and I was just like, I'm jealous. Like, what they're doing is super cool. What they're doing is really close to what I want to do. But they've been probably working at it a lot longer than me. So when you get those feelings coming up, like, really, it's nice to be like, well, why am I feeling like this? Because I was like, oh, I'm kind of jealous. And then I was like, oh, well, I could just be nice and make a friend, I don't have to be jealous. So I think that's really funny because that can be an indicator that you need to cheer somebody on, because that also helps you get your head out of your ass and be like, oh, obviously they're doing something I like. Like, that'd be super cool if, since we are in the same circle of friends, like, oh my gosh, they could be an acquaintance. Like, how cool is this? I could cheer somebody on and congratulate them for everything they've done. So I think that that's really important to keep your own crap in check. And so that was really interesting to me that this really correlated with that, because I was like, oh, well, I don't like feeling that way, So it was cool. So I was like, hey, I love what you're doing. You're doing some really cool stuff. Congratulations. Because she was saying like how proud of herself she was. And I was like, oh, why can't I be like that? And it's like, okay, well, you can. Stop. So give me a word. Give me a word out there in the chat room if you know what I'm talking about. Like, these people that are doing the things that you like, that's like an opportunity for you to be like, yo, like, I dig what you're doing. And then boom, problem solved. It really is a release to say something like that to somebody, because deep down when you're having feelings like that, that's exactly what's going on, is you're like, ooh, I really appreciate what you're doing. This isn't about me. So come on, people. All right, party people. So the next thing is quit picking fights and go make something. And I absolutely love this. This is a really good chapter. I'm all fired up about it. So you're going to see a lot of stupid stuff out there. You're going to feel like you need to correct it. Especially right now, we have the internet and people aren't working a lot and people are just like online picking fights. Like I accidentally posted something on a city page and I thought I was posting it on a friend's page. And then all of a sudden, all the people from the city were like attacking me. And I was like, I'm not going to engage with these people. I wasn't trying to pick a fight. Like, I just thought I was saying something jokingly to a friend. And then I put it on this page and people were like taking it seriously. And I was like, okay, like I'm not trying to troll these people. So I had to just back off and not engage with it because it was just going to take so much energy. And like, it was an accident. Okay. So Austin says one time he was up on his laptop and his wife yelled at him, quit picking fights on Twitter and go and make something. And he says she was right, but anger is one of my favorite creative resources. Henry Rollins has said he is both angry and curious, and that's what keeps him moving. Zandra says, that's what I was about to say. I forgot this was the next part. And she was talking about Zandra, I think you were responding to my comment about the artist where I was like, oh, I felt kind of jealous. And it was like, okay, like actually, like that's just an opportunity for you to like diffuse that and just say, hey, you're doing a good job. So I think that's what Zandra was relating to. Quit picking fights and go make something on the internet, or quit picking fights on the internet and go make something. So he goes, sometimes oh yes, Zandra says I had it right. Perfect. See, I'm picking up what you're putting down, girl. I got a little rage symbol here. Road rage. Do you get road rage? I used to. I don't anymore. I've been driving too much to be that angry all the time, every time I get on the road. So let's see. Sometimes he goes, sometimes he reads emails and Twitter in the morning when he can't get out of bed until his blood starts boiling and he gets fired up enough to spring out of bed. Zandra says her dad got both of their allotments of road rage. That sucks. We had to grow up with somebody yelling all the time on the road. Whoops. I used to do it just for fun, like, and it was like a release, like just to be like yelling in traffic. And then I was like, I don't even yell anymore. I'm just like, oh, that person was cutting me off. Okay. Whoops. So then he says that instead of wasting his anger on complaining or lashing out when he's reading these things on the internet or emails that make him angry, he says that he tries to channel it into his writing or his drawing. And then so he says, go on, get angry, keep your mouth shut and go do your work. So get angry and use it as fuel. So Zandra says, oh, she yells, but she never means it. I just like to yell. Exactly. Yeah. Sometimes that can be kind of fun. So yeah, no, there've been times where I'd be like driving and she's like, what are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I'm like laughing as I'm doing it. I think that's how you're talking, Zandra. I love it. There's a quote in this book and it cracks me up because I used to date this person who was Zandra says exactly. I used to date this person that was a senior software engineer for a startup company here in Seattle. And I do contract work for a company sometimes, and I do it through this app. And the app is like super buggy and it like eats your battery and like you have to have it open the whole time. And so I'm not going to name names, but it was so funny because they'd always be just like complaining, that their software sucks. Like their code is just, I wish I could just go in and fix it, blah, blah, blah. I was like, you don't work there. And so this quote, it says, is by Andrea Torres. It says, complain about the way other people make software by making software. So I'm like sitting here reading this book, just thinking about that, laughing. I'm like, oh, because that's exactly what they were doing too. Like they were making like super slick code and all that, like super creative, right? Like you're creating nothing from scratch. I definitely think that, software engineers are super creative people. So yeah, and they actually used to come to like some of my painting classes and stuff, and like their paintings were also super cool. So I think that techies can be really creative, and a lot of times like there's this big misconception that techies aren't creative, but they can be. And so I just thought that was hilarious. Zondra's laughing in the chat about my anecdote. So I'm glad that you thought that was funny too, because I'm just sitting here reading this just like, ha ha. It's a perfect example. All right, so this next part says to write fan letters. So we've been having this build up to this point. And I think earlier in the book, Austin was mentioning that he would write fan letters to bands that he really liked. And he even mentioned earlier in this book that in anticipation for the release of the new album, he would write songs that he thought would, that he was hoping the new album by the band would sound like. And then he says he later went on to find out that his songs often weren't like the new album at all, but that he then went on to utilize his early writings to remake into songs for some of his later music projects. So I thought that was super cool. Kim Joy is here. Hello, my dear. Thank you so much for understanding about the postponing. I'm glad that you got to make it. I was kind of worried if I postponed it, especially not knowing what time I was going to be available, that you guys wouldn't make it. So I'm super happy you made it. Kim, if you're just joining us, the whole first part of this book is about how to be nice because the world is small. The world is like a small town. And it's talking about how, yeah, just basically how to utilize your network. And like if you're around a bunch of people that don't inspire you and that you're ahead of, that it might be time to find a new group of people to surround yourself with that do inspire you. Maybe amend, not necessarily break up with your friends. But Zondra says, in response to the discussion about Austin and making his music, Zondra says, guess she should write that Christina Aguilera album. Yes, you should. Please. Please write your Christina Aguilera album. I think this is the second time you've mentioned her to me. So I think that you should do that and then give me a sneak peek because I would absolutely love to hear it. Kim says, hi, Zondra. I was going through withdrawal, not being able to hang out with you guys. Oh, you missed us. I know, me too. I was super excited we still get to do this. So it worked out. I'm really glad. Oh, Zondra says, yeah, we're like a little art club. We're like an art group every week now for, I lost track. It's like over 20 weeks now. So this is perfect. We've only missed 1 week. Oh, Zondra. Yeah, she says she was sad. She thought Kim might not be here. So good. I'm glad. Kim, did you do anything super creative or interesting? I saw that you posted in our art group. We have an art group on Facebook called Creative Club with Sari. Um, Kim got to repair a piece of stained glass that somebody brought to her. It was broken somehow. And so we got to see the before and after picture. So if you're interested in joining our creative club, our creative crew, head over to Facebook, and it's Creative Club with Sari Luna. You can go to Sari Luna Designs and shoot me a message. I believe it's a private club. You can request to be joined. But yeah, come on, join in and post your art projects. It's super fun. Zandra says, girl crew. We've had some guys show up, okay? But yes, it's us three regulars. And I think there's a lurker too. I think maybe Jeremy's here. Jeremy likes to sit and listen and work on projects, I think. So, all right. Circle back. Now that everybody's here, I feel whole again. All right, so writing fan letters. So he's talking about, let's see. So he says the trouble with fan letters is there's a lot of built-in pressure for the recipient to respond. And he says that a lot of times when we write fan letters, we're looking for a blessing or affirmation. And he says, Hugh MacLeod says, the best way to get approval is to not need it. And ain't that the truth? There's this person that I follow, and they always say, I got happy before I was happy. And what that means is you continually focus on the good things and completely ignore the negative things. And then all of a sudden, everything that you see, you're just in the habit of seeing the good things. So the best way to get approval is not to need it. Approve of yourself. Kim says, I am Zooming with 3 other small businesses on Tuesday with the North Carolina Senator Small Business during COVID. That is so cool. So it's a local North Carolina small business group. Oh my God, how cool. So, and hopefully you've got some projects that you're pitching, I hope, from the sounds of it, or maybe they're pitching projects to you that you guys are applying for. That sounds really cool. Yeah. So Zandra says, Jeremy's napping today. He was up all night with a project. You know, I was up super late. I'm not, I don't know. I get like 4 to 8 hours of sleep and I'm up for 20 hours. I don't know what the deal is. Zandra says she thought that the fan letter bit was rather insightful. Oh, that when you write a fan letter that there's built-in pressure for the recipient to respond. I think so too. I thought that was really interesting because most of the time you don't, normally we run around our days just thinking about ourselves. We don't think about the other person, right? Kim says yes. The North Carolina Senator Small Business During COVID meeting is taking a project to DC. You only have 3 minutes to talk. And and then Kim also wrote a fan letter to Robert Plant. I remember you saying that. And she said that she didn't hear back from him. I'm sure he gets a lot of stuff, though. Everybody, like, people are always, I had a friend the other day go, it's a Robert Plant kind of day. And, like, they were just listening to Robert Plant all day. So I'm sure he gets lots of fan mail. But that doesn't mean he didn't read it. You never know. You never know. You put that energy out there, and that's good energy. So, yeah, I think that's cool. And congratulations, Kim. 3 minutes seems really short, so I hope you have your elevator pitch down. If you don't know what an elevator pitch is, I would Google it, but I'm sure you do. You've been in the business for a while now, so I'm sure you know how to pitch your business. So I'll take advice from you, actually, Kim, if you have any advice on an elevator pitch. Tell me. You're getting all these leads. I love it. Let's see here. So if you truly love somebody's work, you should not need a response from them. And if the person you want to write to has been dead for 100 years, you're SOL. So I recommend public fan letters. The internet is really good for this. Write a blog post about somebody's work that you admire and link to their site. Make something and dedicate it to your hero. Answer a question they've asked, solve a problem for them, or add to a body of work that they've done and share it online. Fan art, that's really cool. So maybe your hero will see your work, maybe they won't. Maybe they'll respond to you, maybe they won't. But the important thing is that you're showing your appreciation without expecting anything in return. And then sometimes, depending on how you do it, if you do fan art, you can get new work out of the appreciation. Zandra says that at one point she saw a video of Brandon Urie of Panic at the Disco trying to answer fan mail, and it blew her mind. He had a bag like Santa, but full of fan mail letters. That's so cute. I actually love that they were recording it. Oh, that's so cute. And then you almost get to like watch their reaction as they're opening the fan mail. I think that's super cute. Oh, big old Santa bag full of fan mail for Brandon Urie of Panic at the Disco. I heard a oh man, I can't think of it. I heard a Panic at the Disco pun joke the other day, and I can't even try to tell it because I forgot the punchline. But it's in there somewhere. I'll remember it when our live stream is over. So Kim has written fan mail to Robert Plant. Zandra wants to do a Christina Aguilera album, the album that she hopes Christina Aguilera would put out. I think that both of those would be fan mail. And if you like, Zandra, if you do a body of work inspired by her, I mean, it would be kind of cool to send it to her and just see if you get a response from her too. Like, not necessarily expecting one, like we say here, but maybe it'll brighten her day, So I have a piece of fan mail right here. So the artist I was talking about earlier, she's super awesome. Her name is Veronica Lynn Harper. I was just looking at her Facebook. She's got like 4 businesses that she runs. She has multiple avenues of revenue, which doesn't necessarily mean that they're always streaming in, but she's doing clothing design. She's making textiles. I don't know if she owns or rents and then sub-rents a studio, and she does design, branding, and social media content. So she's got like her hands in all kinds of art stuff. It looks like it appears like she's making her living just off of her art doing all this, but she's hustling. She is hustling, obviously working her ass off. And I went to all of her websites, and dude, like she's got a lot of stuff. So this is my shout out. This is my fan mail to Veronica Lynn Harper. She is an artist. A lot of her artwork, it looks like a cross between like those, have you seen those the water, or the ink that you drop in the water, and it kind of makes like these weird flowy designs, or like watercolory, mixed with like fractals. And I saw a video that she did. It was super cool. She's also a dancer or a performer. And she was hooked up to a motion capture machine, which I'm not sure if you guys are familiar, but motion capture is what a lot of the times they use to get really good, smooth, real life animations. They'll like they'll put you in the suit and record your movements, and then they'll hook it up to an animation. Well, she did that where she was dancing with the motion capture, and somehow she converted it to these textile patterns. It's super cool. She's got this video. Go check her out. Her website for her clothing design is motherearthfineart.com. So definitely check it out. She's doing a bunch of face masks. She's actually donating a lot of face masks to people that need them. So it looks like she's just all around, like, just really hustling, really doing some good stuff for the community and for the art world, and she's being innovative. So this is my fan letter, how I appreciate what she's doing. It's super inspiring. Ooh, I got goosebumps. So yeah, so do some fan letter. Like let's rep the people that are really impressive to us. Let's just put some feelers out there and do some fan art, whatever we want to do. Kim is saying, yes, do it, Zandra. Do the Christina Aguilera album. So now we're cheering you on, babe. Yeah, because we're all a community. We all live here, we're all human, we all have feelings. So, all right. On that note, validation is for parking. Don't do something because you want somebody else to validate you. Modern art. I could do that. Or modern art equals I could do that plus, yeah, but you didn't. And that's a quote from Craig Demrar. Yeah, like a lot of times I'll see some modern art and I'll be like, I could do that. But he's right. I didn't do it. Right? That was a good phrase. So I have a joke for you guys. I actually remembered this joke and I wrote it down. So on the same note, you see a piece of modern art and you go, yeah, I could do that. And then you realize, yeah, but I'm not doing it. Sandra says on the modern art quote was good too. Oh, and the validation is for parking, right? Word, Sandra. All right, you ready for my joke? I think I'm going to get a bah ha 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 from Sandra in the chat, but we'll see. We'll see. Only do it if it's genuine, okay? So, two people were in a bar and they were chatting about life, and the first guy says, "I'm writing a novel," and the second guy says, "I'm not either." Kim says she's ready for the joke. Okay, Zandra says that one of the scariest things about her art is that she feels like if she can do it, anyone can. But the reason I'm doing it is because no one seems to be doing it, right? Like that is the scariest thing about art, right? Like I'm just like, okay, yeah, I had this really awesome idea that I really liked, and then I produced the artwork and I'm like, is it really that awesome though? Because I came up with the idea. And then I share the piece of art and then it's well received. And then I'm like, oh, I guess it is a good idea. So I totally relate to that, Zandra. And Zandra did give me a bah ha ha ha. I thought you would relate to this. And she says, oh my God, so true. Let me tell the joke again. I got to tell it again. Two people were talking at a bar. The first guy says, I'm writing a novel. And the second guy says, I'm not either. So much relevant crap this week. I heard that earlier this week and I started laughing. But it's the same way with my art, right? Like sometimes I'm like, oh yeah, I'm an artist. And it's like, so why are you in like a dry spell? Like just get up and do it. That's what he's saying. Like channel that energy. Like stop wasting your energy on crap that doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, you're the one that matters. It's your life. You have to be happy with what you've done. So Kim says, but we are all individuals and it has our soul in it. No one can add that. And this is Kim, I believe, responding to me talking about my ideas, and Zandra talking about her ideas, and us talking about the modern art, where it's like, okay, is this too simple? Like what, like it's hard? Tell me if you get that quote. Zandra says, I have that with music. I've been working on an album. And she says that she's been working on since middle school. I'll keep you posted. Right? So I feel that. So like sometimes it's just really important to give yourself a deadline and say, no, I absolutely have to. And it's nice if we give ourselves small bite-sized deadlines, one at a time. So I'm going to finish one song this month, which means once a week I have to do one part of the song, right? So that's small and manageable. And I mean, it's so hard, Zandra. I totally get it. There's pieces of art that like I have that are unfinished. Some of them are unfinished for like 3 years. Some of them I'll like start stuff and then I'll move on. But recently what I've done is I've taken my canvases. So I've taken my canvases to my storage unit with all my art supplies. And I only keep here like 1 or 2 projects at a time. So let me show you something. So I only keep like 1 or 2 projects here at a time. So if I have one painting on the easel, I probably have another one. Right now I don't. Right now I just have this one. But this one in my hand, I had sitting there for like 3 weeks while I was finishing this other painting. And I was like, I really don't want to work on that. I really don't want to work on that. And then I got the itch to paint and I was like, okay, but I only have one canvas here. And I was like, I really don't want to paint that. And so I was like, okay, well, why don't I just, okay, well, what have I been admiring lately? Like, why don't I just kind of make something similar, you know, or start. But again, like Kim's saying, even if you paint something, or create something, it still has, it's injected with you, right? Like, so I started this painting when I was at the beach. I was at the beach for a friend's birthday. And I don't know if you heard me talk about it, but it was like, it got a little crowded and I got really uncomfortable and I had to leave. Just because COVID. Otherwise, like, I don't care about crowds anymore. I used to care about crowds. Anyway, I divulge, whatever. So this painting, it was just basically the background color. And then I recently was like, okay, I'm going to do, and I'm not done with it yet. I got to finish the edges. I'm going to turn these into like hands. They're kind of resembling hands, but I want to do something a little bit more, like, less detailed on the edge, maybe. So I really wanted to do this Dara knot, and that is quite a lot of work to do that knot because I don't typically do a lot of Celtic art, and it's actually kind of complex. I got my head all turned inside out and really confused a couple of times, but I managed to do it, so I'm really happy with it. So I got to finish this. There's like these clouds in these circles going that way, and then there's hand clouds in circles going the opposite way, and then there's trees growing out of the Dara knot, and then I'm going to have these nice swirly flowy branches up here, probably in white, or I don't know, with some contrast. I don't know, but I haven't quite figured out how I'm going to finish it. We've got a lot of action in the chat, so I'm going to stop tooting my own horn and put this down and see what you guys have to say. Kim says, nope, already read that. So Kim says, I have pieces that I started 10 years ago and she cannot let go. She has to finish them. I know. So that's where my rule came in, where I was like, okay, fine. You can start a new painting, but if you just finished a new painting, or if you started a new painting, then you have to finish an old one. So it was like alternating. So I'm allowed to start a new painting, but in between I have to finish an old project. And then after I finish an old project, then I'm allowed to start a new painting. So I actually got my stack of unfinished paintings cut in. I probably got a third of the paintings out of there now. So Kim, you might want to try and employ that rule because it's kind of helpful. Sandra says, Kim, word. And she has to go take one of your classes. I know I really wanted, I took a stained glass class when I was younger, and I really loved it. I would absolutely love to take a stained glass from Kim. So when we go on our field trip to, why can I never think of New Mexico? We go on our field trip to New Mexico to meet in the middle. Maybe we can, well, I don't know if Kim would want to drag all of her. You wouldn't really have a place to teach us in New Mexico. We'd have to come to Kim. Kim says, I love that. I saw on Instagram spinning and so cool. Oh yeah, Kim, I posted a video of my painting spinning, and it was like super trippy. Thank you, Kim. I'm glad you like it. Kim says she has 9 projects going on her workbench, all in progress. The good thing about having multiple projects at once is if you're not feeling one, you can go to another, because a lot of times, like, I like to let something sit and percolate because I'm not quite sure what I'm doing with it. And putting my attention on a different project will often give me enough space from that project to figure out what it is I'm doing. Because you know that thing when you lose your keys, or you lose your favorite, let's use this, you lose your favorite ballpoint pen, right? When you're looking for it, you can't find it. But then when you're looking for something else, then you'll find it, right? So it's that always the last place you look thing. So if, like, also the watch pot never boils. So if you're looking for this idea to finish a project, often you can't do this when you're on a time crunch, but you know, us artists, we like things to be perfect and beautiful and aesthetic. It's really cool to put your attention somewhere else so that you can have that aha moment to finish that project. So I do like that you do that, Kim. Kim says New Mexico is not the middle. Look, I just wanted to go to Meow Wolf. Road trip part 2, Zandra says. Kim says Brandon, Minnesota. Is that Minnesota? Is halfway according to Google. Okay, so Kim can actually figure out the geography for us. So we'll trust her. Look, I just wanted to go to Meow Wolf. So maybe I'll just, maybe we'll just have to have multiple trips, you guys. I don't know. So cool. Okay, Kim says Hawaii. Yeah, Hawaii's halfway between us. That's the one. Let's go to Hawaii. Zondra's asking if Brandon, Minnesota is near the Mall of America. Oh, and then she says Hawaii, she's in. All right, so don't worry about that. We don't have to go halfway. We can if we want, but that was the whole thing with the road trip and making art every day and then meeting in the middle. That would still be fun. We could probably go and rush in on some really awesome bed and breakfast and just be like, hello, we're artists. Let us be here. Serve us breakfast. I don't know. But yeah, historical places are really cool. I'm sure we could find some cool historical stuff. But yeah, Hawaii, let's do Hawaii. On that same note, oh, I'm still reading a book, aren't I? I'm not going to digress any longer. Let's get back to the book. All right. But yeah, Hawaii, we'll do that. I'm good for that. All right, so we were talking about how validation is for parking. Okay, so the trouble with creative work is that sometimes by the time people catch on to what's valuable about what you do, you're either A, bored to death, or B, dead. Did I already read this? I did. You cannot go looking for validation from external sources. You have no control over the way people will react to you and your work. So the really good work often appears effortless. It's that whole, oh, I could do that, right? But then it's like, people won't see the years of toil and sweat that went into it, which includes the refinement of your style, your artistic eye, your aesthetic, all of that, practicing skills. So a lot of times people just see the final form and they're like, oh yeah, I could do that. But there's a lot of work that goes into design. Like, I think one of the hardest parts of graphic design for me is that you're omitting things. The really strong forms are really simple. And I'm learning a lot. I did a couple of graphic design tutorials because I do graphic design and I have a history in it, but I'm just like, you see this painting, like, look at this crap. I just want to add more. Like, so graphic design isn't like that. You're keeping it simple. So you got to kind of switch gears. So that's a skill that I'm still working on refining, which is okay. Got to be okay looking stupid, right? So really good work often appears effortless. Get comfortable with being misunderstood, disparaged, or ignored. Ignored is the big one because a lot of times people just don't feel seen, and it's like so many successful people, like every successful person, artist, creator, whatever, has felt like that. There's no overnight success, and that's like a big myth. There's no overnight success. You've got to put the work in. So the trick is to be too busy to care what people are thinking because you're doing the work. The trick is to do the work and be so busy doing the work that it doesn't matter to you what people think, because the work is how you get that refinement. The work is how you get that skill. Zondra's Zondra threw out a word in the chat. Heck yeah. All right, so we're on the same level. So I love this. I'm reading my note before I read the book. So the next thing is keep a praise file. And what that means is anytime you get like a little piece of fan letter, anytime somebody gives you, a pat on the back for what you've done, save it. Save it in a file, because so often we get to that point where we're burnt out. This is pointless. Why am I even doing it? And then when you use that praise file sparingly, when you use that sparingly, you can actually get like that reminder. It like, oh, okay, like what I'm doing does matter. This is affecting people's lives. People are getting something out of this. So keep that praise file and keep it on hand for when you're not feeling so great and you're feeling a little lost and you're not sure why you're doing this anymore. And I wrote a note that, I really love this idea because, and I know I'm always throwing my mom out here, but my mom's teaching me how to human, right? So my mom told me to keep a list of all of my accomplishments and keep it posted up so that I can see everything I've done. And this I have every few months, every 6 months, every couple months, whatever it may be, I'll just like write down all the things that I've accomplished. And it's so nice to see those posted up and be like, look how much I've done. We've got some action here. Zondra's talking about workaholism and how it happens for a reason. And she's not saying that it's good per se, but she's saying it has good points. I agree. Okay, so and I'll also like add to that I don't really think there's, as long as you can learn something from what you're doing, there's a benefit, right? So say the experience is perceived as bad, but if you can look at what you got out of it, just like Zondra's saying, you can get something out of it. You can make it worthwhile for yourself. It's like that quote, life is what you make it, homie. So then Zondra's asking if we did the fan mail for Artist Way. I did not. She sent hers to her dad. I sent mine to my dad to send to me, and he lost, and then he finally sent it. Oh, so you sent yourself fan mail, and then you finally got it. That's so sweet. I love that your dad sent it for you. So Kim's saying that hers was to Robert Plant. Yes, she did it from the Artist's Way. And she's not letting it go. She's going to keep writing until he acknowledges you. Look, I'm your biggest fan. Oh, that's so cute, Kim. Maybe one day you'll get to meet him and he'll be like, oh my God, you're the Kim that keeps writing me. And it's going to be super cool. And Zondra's saying, Kim, it was the fan mail to self. Yeah. So I did write myself a fan letter. I didn't write a fan letter to anybody else, but I did just do my fan letter to this local artist here on air just now. And Zandra says that she used to not care about the records of her accomplishments until one day she was really down and out and she found them and she was like, whoa, I can do stuff. Exactly. And that's exactly it. It's just like, well, I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted reading the chat. So, yes, that's exactly it. Like, it's that reminder that you are capable and that you are getting something out of this. And so, it's validating yourself. Look at this. Oh, look, I spanked that goal. Got some nice innuendo, huh? So Kim's saying that she missed the fan letter to herself. So Kim is in the book, and you know how we were like, pick 5 of the 10 tasks. So you probably saw it, but maybe you chose to do a different one because, you can always go back and do it. I still haven't gone back through my book to reread because we're still doing book club strong. So I'm probably just going to... Sandra's embarrassing me. So Kim says she picked an easier task. Yeah. So that's exactly it, right? Like, you can go back and do the other ones that maybe you chose to skim over. Zandra says she's keeping my quote where I said I spanked that goal. But it's really good. Acknowledge yourself. Like, yes. So keep that praise file for yourself. Keep that file of the praise people send you. And my addition is to keep that list of your accomplishments and, just go to that. Like, if you're like, why the hell am I doing this? I'm feeling down, whatever it might be. Like, maybe you're burnt out because you're being a workaholic, There are good points to workaholism, though. I agree with you, Sandra. So yeah, so like, you can, if you have like a really big win where you get like a lot of acknowledgement, you can get like 2 weeks of fan mail or like the high from that event. But then the thing is that once that wears off and it dwindles out, you're on to the next project. Sometimes you can feel that emptiness from that energy that was there, and you got to be able to keep shoveling coal into your own fire here. So yeah. No pain. Stay so busy that you don't feel any pain. Stay so busy that you don't care what other people say. Oh, Zandra also keeps all the greeting cards people send. Yes, I have one right over there from one of my friends. One of my friends sent it to me when I was having a hard time. It was just the sweetest card. She's like, "You're a really strong person." You know, it was so cute. So yes, greeting cards are awesome. And sometimes people send you pictures and stuff. So you like Christmas cards and stuff, pictures from friends. Like I'll put up on my fridge every year. So yeah, down the road when you have a dark day and you want to quit, just go back and refer to that. And delete all the nasty emails. Move on from that. Just ignore it. Just ignore it. It's a small town, this big old world we live in. So let's see. That's the end of the book for this chapter. No, I'm sorry. That's the end of this chapter. But I did leave a note there. I already mentioned that immersive art installation that I did back in February was when it was released. I got such a high off of the completion, off of the experience, off of the scope and the scale of the project, and the reception that I got from people. So, you know, I actually have footage of people like when they went in and were able to experience the room. And I actually would absolutely love to break that out and just kind of relive that again, you know? So anyway, it's just really fun to keep that stuff on hand, keep yourself motivated, help motivate others. So yeah, that's all I got for you guys. I guess, I don't know. I might try and go pick up some more work today. Well, I definitely will try and pick up some more work today. It's contingent on it being available. So, what are you guys doing this week? Do you have any big projects going on? This week, I am hammering down, picking up as much work as I can. I have been so grateful to have this last month or so, or this last month to really hone in and work on my business. I did a painting workshop, very small. There was only, hold on, 2, 4, 5. I had 7 attendees plus myself, so there was 8. I found this really awesome park with picnic tables. The picnic tables were like 10 feet long, and there were 6 of them. And it was open air in this like nice shady grove of trees. And so I was able to teach a workshop, masks required, everything sanitized, open air. It was beautiful. So that was really good. So I'm going to try and do another workshop here pretty quick. I got some people that said they were interested that weren't able to make it. So for those of you in Seattle, Zandra, I messaged you. I forgot I had your cell phone, and Zandra saying she missed her class. No. But I'm gonna have another one. Don't worry. I know you guys were like fixing your car and stuff. So I am gonna be having another very small open air workshop. I'm gonna try and do it while the weather holds, while I can. So Zandra, I'll shoot you a message. I have a tentative date picked out, so I'll touch base with you, and I'll actually text you this time. I forgot I had your cell phone number and I was messaging you on Instagram. I'm sorry. Sandra says that she is reconnecting with her memoir about her cat. Oh, your cat. That's why you were in Portland that one day. She lost track of her daily work with everything. I lost track of daily work with everything because we've been filming. So you're reconnecting with your memoir. You're writing a memoir about your cat? That's so sweet. That was your childhood cat, right? Kim says, we're just going to show up on your doorstep. Come on down. There's some amazing parks right by my house. We can go outside and enjoy the beautiful scenery around here. There's some really cool stuff. If you guys show up on my doorstep, I'm going to like show you around. So that's cool. But yeah, no, it was great. Oh, I want to see you. Okay. Well, we'll get together soon. So Hawaii for our big reunion. And then little local painting workshops. If you're interested, shoot me a message. I literally like got bleach water and wiped down all my paintbrushes and washed them. I washed my aprons on like really hot, like I'm like straight up sanitizing things. So if you are interested in a workshop, never fear. I am like really, really mindful about germs. So back to Zondra's kitty cat. He was her baby boy. When he died, she felt angry that so many people didn't know they'd missed out on such an amazing being. So a memoir. I love it. Yes. Okay, so perfect. Is it going to be like a short memoir, a long, or are you just kind of feeling it out and getting your guidelines in now? Because I want to see all your creative stuff. So yeah, we'll connect on that here. Super exciting. Zandra says that is hella sanitizer. Oh no, I sanitize the crap out of everything. Like brand new pens, like no, I'm not playing around with this COVID. I don't want to be liable for anything. So I'm trying to be very mindful. I required masks at my workshop and everything. I'm like, you guys I like spaced everything out. So only people from the same households were at the same tables. Everybody else was spaced out. It was really cool. And I filmed it. So I'm going to be working on that content too. That's also going to be for my Patreon because I'm going to be doing a lot more online content here. So Zandra says that she's written the first draft of her book and it won't be long. It's readable in a day, but impactful. Perfect. Okay. Cause I was really, imagining like it's a good book. Like it's a book for sure, but like, yeah, readable in a day. I don't know. That was the vibe I got. So I'm glad that was accurate. Yeah, anything else, Kim? You're still working on, you said 9 projects at a time. I have to edit a bunch of videos. I need to figure out Discord so we can get you guys on video when we're doing this. And Kim is suggesting that Zandra do a children's book. And actually on that note, Kim, I absolutely would love to illustrate a book. Like that's on my bucket list. So if you do a book and you want an illustrator, let's do a collab. Kim is saying that Zoom is really good for everybody on the video. Yeah, that's a good idea. My problem is that I want to be able to, at this point, I want to have some of the content on my YouTube and then some of the content feed over into a subscription platform. So right now I haven't had us do Zoom because I don't have all the technical stuff figured out. So I'm cool with just doing YouTube right now, but I'll look into Zoom because maybe there's a way to do it. Zandra says she has an idea to do a comic and it's effectively me and my cat. That's perfect. I'm thinking Calvin and Hobbes, like super cute. Kim's still cutting the glass for her 3-piece commission that she's working on. And she says, oh, Kim is saying 45 minutes and under is free. Oh, that's for Zoom. Okay. I'm wondering about Zoom, like, can I capture it and then post some of it afterward? Like, so, and the reason why I'm looking at Discord is because they already partner with Patreon, and I've had several people in video editing just tell me they'd help me with my Discord. So that's kind of why I'm going that route. Zandra says, yes, you can capture. Kim says you can record it, but I don't know about transferring it. Okay, so I have good, viable options from the sounds of it. So this week, I'm getting painting kits put together because I keep having people asking me about buying painting kits. And then I have to figure out Discord or Zoom so that we can keep progressing forward with this thing, because I feel like our little art group has really turned into a nice, like when I started doing this, I didn't really realize I didn't know what was going to happen. I was just like, I'm going to do this. This seems cool. And then you guys decided to join me, and I'm really happy with how it's turned out. So, I'm gonna, whatever I do, I'll keep you guys informed. I know I keep talking about this, but life. So yes. So Kim is saying community or family. That's how it feels for me. Oh, you guys, yeah, it is like a little family. It's like a little art fam. Yes. And Zondra's saying she's watched Zooms on YouTube. Okay, plenty of options here. Zondra sent a cute little heart emoji with a face in it, and he's like shining his energy everywhere. I don't know how you got this emoji. Oh, there's a little emojis here. Super cute. I'm going to give you guys, oh, here we go. Cute. All right, I sent y'all some cute emojis too. Who is number 4 watching? Kim is asking. We don't know who number 4 is. So I don't see a list of the users that are tuned in. So we just have some cool peeps joining us. If you are here watching, feel free to say hi. I know we had, oh my gosh, we had somebody else join us last week. Anyway, well, we've got a few people. Hello, number 4. Kim says, hello, number 4. Hi, everybody watching. And thank you for joining us. On that note, I do have a lot of work cut out for me today. So I think I'm going to go get on that because I've made promises to people. Sandra says the calligraphy guy, I can't remember his name, Muhammad. I think it was Mohammed. Yeah, I was chatted with him a little bit this week. He sent me a message and I got busy and I was gonna respond. I set like, if I get like, cause I get really busy. So I set like one time a day at the very least to where I go through and answer all my messages. So sometimes I'm on my messages multiple times a day and other times I'm just one time a day because I'm like, it's a lot for me sometimes. So Facebook Messenger sends, I didn't realize this, but they tell you, like when you go to turn off the app notifications, because sometimes I get busy, I turn the app notifications off so I can concentrate because I have ADD, right? ADHD. So when you go to turn the notifications off on your Facebook Messenger app, it tells you the average messages you get a day. Mine said 42. So I really set one time to where I answer all my messages. Number 4 left, but that's okay. We got to say hi. So yeah, so I gotta go and get all this stuff. I know Zondra says, holy cow. I don't know how I get 42 messages a day. Kim says, have an awesome week. Keep art in your heart. I love it. Keep art in your heart. Kim, can I take that? Can I make that a piece of art? Keep art in your heart. Go get him, Zondra says. And she says she goes insane with 5 messages. I talk a lot, though. I don't know if you've noticed. I was talking to my mom. She went to my mom went to my painting workshop, and I was like talking to her, and she goes, what? I tuned you out 10 minutes ago. And I go, do you see how my gift of gab like goes with my vocation though? And she goes, I don't even care. Like, shut up. I'm not listening. I tune you out. So Zondra's laughing. Kim says, keep art in your heart is her sign off on her newsletter. I really like that. Keep art in your heart, and ART is capitalized. Perfect. All right. Well, on that note, keep art in your heart. Keep on keeping on. Don't get into any trouble this week. Let's get some small, digestible baby steps on our art projects so that we, even if you just break it down into like if all you can do is 10 minutes, just do 10 minutes of something. Sometimes we can be overwhelmed or not in the mood or whatever. So 10 minutes is, better than nothing. So, all right, you guys, keep art in your heart. Mwah, love you. Bye, fam. I'll see you next week. Take it easy, y'all. I'll send you guys another emoji because you're cute. Okay, bye-bye.